All right, buckle up. It's going to be another long weather for Weather Geeks here on this Wednesday evening. Welcome back, everyone. We've got another action-packed video for you with snow coming tomorrow. And, of course, the biggest winter storm easily of the season so far coming up over the course of the weekend. This may even be our biggest winter storm that we've had in several years coming our way for Saturday and into Saturday night. First things first, little ice this morning, of course, caused a lot of issues on area roads. It was a quiet and cold day otherwise. This is our next weather maker out here. It doesn't look like much, does it? Well, this is starting to pick up a little bit of Gulf moisture and will come east and bring us the snow for tomorrow. Our weekend storm is still way out here. California getting pummeled with rain and mountain snow. Feet and feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And here's our area of low pressure that will eventually kind of do this and cross the whole country and bring us the snow for the upcoming weekend. Let's not waste any time here. Let's dive into Thursday's weather. Now, the snow's going to take a while to get going, maybe some flurries in the afternoon, but I doubt there's anything that really sticks before sunset tomorrow evening. It's after sunset that a slushy inch or two can accumulate. This is going to be a wetter snow than we had over the weekend because temperatures will probably be close to freezing during the entire duration of this. I'm not looking for big impacts on most of our major roads, but side streets and untreated surfaces, sure, there could be some slick areas, and certainly on the grass, there could be up to an inch or two worth of snow out of this. It'll taper off probably late in the evening towards midnight or so. So our hour-by-hour snow chances on Thursday, again, this is probably not much more than flurries. The steadier stuff occurs probably after sunset and into your Thursday evening. So accumulation-wise, most likely an inch or two. The most I can see anyone getting is 3. I think that's even pushing the envelope a little bit. I think this is more of a slushy inch or two. Not all the snow in the world, but still use some caution if you'll be out and about during the latter portions of the day tomorrow. Again, the main roads, because of those temperatures near freezing, should be largely okay as long as they've got a little treatment on them. But you know the idea here. Sidewalks, side streets, secondary roads, your deck, your driveway certainly can be a little bit slick. Now, Friday is going to be a day kind of like today, where we're going to have clouds and pretty benign weather as we get set for our blockbuster winter storm that comes our way over the weekend. Before we get into the forecast specifics, I wanted to show you some model information here for the weekend system. Here's our earlier today runs of the GFS and European model. Now, there's been some trends over the last 24 hours that are important. The European, which let's look at the European first. The European, which I'm showing you right here, has been trending south with the area of low pressure. That has important implications for us. If this has the right idea, the rain-snow line probably does not get anywhere near us, or at least it'll be comfortably south of our television viewing area, keeping us all in snow. But also it's going far enough south that some of the snow totals may not get out of control here locally. So that's been, the European over the last 24 hours. The GFS, on the other hand, has decided it wants to come farther north. And I'm not showing you the afternoon run. This is from this morning. The afternoon run's even farther north than this. I don't really buy this at this point, but we do have to keep an eye on this. The GFS, if taken literally, would bring that rain-snow line probably up to East Liverpool at least, maybe up to Newcastle as well, and certainly up to Pittsburgh and Wheeling and Steubenville, and that would have big implications on the snow forecast. So, this is why, one of the large reasons why we don't put out snow forecasts too early ahead of major winter storms. These storms generate a lot of buzz, and people, 5 and 6 days out want to know how much snow is going to fall. Hey, my app is telling me this. And you just got to be real careful with forecasts that far out. Now, we did issue our snow map this evening. I'm going to show you that in just a second. But these sort of model differences, give us big-time headaches. Even, we're 3 days out now, and I suspect we're going to continue to see these kind of model differences until maybe about this time tomorrow evening. Once the storm is out of the ocean and onto the land, I think the models will generally have a more consistent message they're sending as far as the storm track for the storm over the weekend. Now, Saturday, it may try to snow a little bit in the morning. I doubt this is anything all that impactful just yet. Maybe this, accumulates a little bit, but the real deal is back here. This is where the deepest moisture is. This will spread our way in the afternoon and evening. So, if you're going to be out and about preparing for this storm on Saturday, want to get your errands done as early as possible. If you see a little snow, just be a little bit careful. But that's not the meat of the storm. That comes later on in the day on Saturday. Here's a look at the latest modeling here for the GFS and European modeling for the snow accumulations at the Youngstown Ward Airport. Fairly representative of kind of the heart of our viewing area: Mahoning, Trumbull, Mercer, Northern Columbiana. I mentioned this afternoon's GFS run, which I'm not showing you, or I didn't show you graphically, but you can see its outputs way down here because it brings that rain-snow line so far north. That's pretty much an outlier at this point. Hopefully it remains an outlier for our forecast. There's going to be a lot of forecasts that go wrong if the GFS is scoring a coup here. The European model is the purple line here, and it has closer to 8.5, 9 inches. The GFS Ensemble is close to 9 inches, and you have to keep in mind that all these numbers are based on 10-to-1 snow-to-liquid ratios. The trick with this is getting the ratios right, and I suspect, especially if the European's right, and this is a colder storm with the low track farther south, I suspect the ratios are more like 12-to-1 or even a little higher. So you can add onto these numbers a little bit, I suspect, if those ratios are indeed more like 12-to-1. So here is the long-awaited snow map that I drew this afternoon. This color is where 12 inches is a mortal lock as long as the storm track doesn't shift wildly from here on out. That would include places such as Bradford, PA, Williamsport, Elmira, Binghamton, up towards Albany as well. And as we look closer to home, the area that I have the lowest confidence in right now is kind of this zone right here, because of that rain-snow line situation being a potential, boogeyman here in the forecast. This is the zone where I could see taking amounts up and getting them into the 9 to 12 area. I could also see where we have to take amounts down in this zone because the GFS is a little more right than the European, ultimately with the storm track, and that would lead to mixed precipitation and lower snow amounts in places like East Liverpool and Calcutta and maybe up to Lisbon and Newcastle and places like that. So anywhere in that yellow box, south of 224 and especially down towards East Liverpool and Pittsburgh, this is a forecast that I'm not super confident in at this early stage. I'm more confident in the heart of our viewing area. We're less likely to see mixed precipitation up here. It's all about the storm track, not only for the potential for mixed precipitation, but also for where the best moisture is. And right now, I think we're kind of in a sweet spot in a lot of our area, as far as not warm enough to see the rain or sleet, but cold enough for snow and with high moisture content. So I think 9 to 12 is looking pretty likely for a lot of our TV viewing area. Now, we give these ranges for a reason. Don't take this graphic as meaning every spot here is going to get a foot. Some places will probably get 9. It's 9 to 12. That's our first stab at the forecast. We wait until a point in which we're confident enough that we won't have to make too many changes. Then we put out, the snow forecast. I would fully expect we'll be making some tweaks from here on out. Hopefully, we won't be making large-scale changes, and I doubt we will. That's why I put out the map this evening. As far as impacts go and the timing, mid-afternoon to daybreak on Sunday. That's when the worst of the snow will be. That's when the worst of the travel will be. The wind will be at its worst on Sunday behind the heavy snow. The wind will already start to kick up on Saturday, especially late in the day, but it'll be nasty on Sunday, driving those wind chills way, way below zero. Other impacts, of course, roads and travel. Common sense applies here. If you don't have to travel, just stay home, hunker down. Enjoy a good old-fashioned snowstorm. If your job requires you to be out in this late Saturday into Saturday night, boy, just be real careful and allow plenty of extra time, and make sure that you have your cell phone with you and plenty of supplies in your car, just on the off chance that you get stuck somewhere. Churches and businesses may decide to close with this amount of snow, so your Sunday morning routine may be a little bit changed as a result. And I'm still concerned about power outages on Sunday, especially if we get some heavy snow and 45-mile-per-hour winds. That could be a recipe for some power problems. I doubt it's a super widespread thing, but it's enough of a concern that I do want to continue mentioning it. All right, wind chills Sunday morning down in the single digits, and they'll probably just go south from there on Sunday, probably below zero for the afternoon on Sunday. Way below zero Sunday night into Monday morning. Now, these numbers could even be a little bit conservative. I could see where we're closer to 10 or even 12 below for the wind chill Monday morning, and I think these numbers could be a little bit conservative both Monday and into Tuesday morning as well. Wouldn't be surprised if these numbers were still way below zero Tuesday morning, and that would have implications, of course, for school. It's a day off on Monday, but a Tuesday morning could be some school adjustments if those wind chills are quite a bit colder than what I just showed you. Now, the cold is going to relax some middle of next week, so that's why the 6 to 10 day temperature map is not just deep blue and purple. The cold's going to relax for a few days before really coming back with a vengeance at the end of January and into February. Real high confidence here that this is going to be a cold stretch, much colder than average, for the end of the month and at least the first stages of February. It may last through a good chunk of February as well, and that would jive with our winter forecast we put out at the beginning of November. We told you this February would not be the picnic that we've had over the last 2 years. That's it for tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I'm going to do a written blog with more information on the winter storm on ericwfmj.com this evening. Look for that here in a little while, and thank you as always for watching Weather for Weather Geeks.